What is gravy, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Sony's subscription service has slowly been improving since it launched last year, adding more and more new titles, and with that comes a boatload of shiny new platinum trophies to earn. So here's 5 that literally anybody can do. I have a rather love-hate relationship with Supermassive Games' various titles, but Until Dawn is an absolute masterpiece of cheesy slasher horror, and its platinum is one of the most enjoyable ones out of the bunch. You take control of a group of teens staying in a remote mountain lodge 1 year after 2 of their friends sadly disappeared following a prank, and as you can probably imagine, things aren't all drinking and sex. Not only is there a creepy mask-wearing psychopath trying to introduce their insides to the concept of being outside, something I too have limited knowledge of, but there's also some spooky ass shenanigans afoot. The guide has this down as a 2 out of 10, which is completely fair, and if you follow the guide from the get-go then you should only need 1 full playthrough. But with these choose your own adventure style games, I will always recommend a blind playthrough first to avoid spoilers. There's a bunch of collectibles and a few endings to get, killing everyone being a particular highlight, but the most enjoyable trophy for me has to be the Ashley Snaps trophy for getting one of the characters to let her love interest get mauled to death. It's a reasonable reaction if you ask me. Have you ever wanted to ram a school bus into a crowd of— Oh Pete, you can't say that! I was going to say couches. It's literally a demolition derby. God, what do you think I am? Wreckfest is a superbly cathartic experience that provides all the chaotic fun you could ever hope for. The destruction physics on the cars is hilarious and actually messes with the gameplay too, as the more your car breaks down, the harder it is to control. And if you're playing the PS5 version, then you actually feel it in the controller too, as the triggers put up more resistance if your brakes are fucked, which is just awesome. PSNP reckons this is a 3 out of 10, but I'd say this is largely dependent on the difficulty you select. For example, you can up the damage factor to hilarious degrees. The game also does have 1 online trophy for winning 20 races, but this can be easily boosted in like an hour max. The only trophy in the game I couldn't stand was the Garden Variety Bronze trophy, which asks you to spend an entire hour driving a lawnmower, which is funny at first, but becomes very dull very quickly. However, that is a small price to pay to experience this game, just trust me. From one cathartic experience to another, nothing embodies complete and total carnage quite like Maneater, a game that basically says, what if we made an RPG, but you're a shark? The game is set out as a mockumentary following a shark hunter named Scaly Pete, and we as the titular shark have to hunt him down to get revenge for the death of our mother. Honestly, the plot isn't really strong, but getting to swim around an open world as an apex predator and cause complete and utter mayhem, tearing through beaches filled with people and battling other aquatic badasses is actually the best kind of dumb fun. It's marked as a 2 out of 10 for difficulty and will probably only take you like 10 to 15 hours to get through, but trust me, you will have the biggest smile on your face the entire time. It's not a perfect game by any means, some of the controls feel backwards, having to use R2 to bite always really annoy me, and there are a bunch of collectibles that can prove a major pain in the ass due to the whole being a shark thing, but getting to absolutely wreck a bunch of shit makes up for all of that. Now for the trophies, I was a bit disappointed there weren't a few more miscellaneous ones for doing just silly shark things. But if I had to pick one, I'd say my favourite is definitely the Vengeance is Mine trophy for finally taking down Scaly Pete. Okay, so it would have been way too easy to fill this list with just a bunch of shovelware, but that's not how we do things around here. That being said, The Artful Escape is a trippy yet stunning game that is probably the closest to an acid trip I'm ever going to get. You play as Francis, a young musician struggling to get out of the shadow of his uncle, so when a magic space hippie gives him the chance to become a full-fledged rock star, he throws caution to the wind and ventures into the great unknown in search of himself. Now I can't lie to you, the gameplay isn't really the star of the show here. It's a lot of side-scrolling and dialogue with the occasional Simon Says style music section, but the visuals are reason enough to play it. And as I alluded to at the beginning, this is the closest we're going to get to a grubby platinum, coming in at 4 hours and a 2 out of 10 difficulty, which I'd argue is probably too high. But it's just such an experience that I can't hold this against it. The only trophy that annoyed me even slightly was the How'd You Get Up There trophy for jumping on top of an archway, which can be finicky, but come on, we're just looking for problems at that point. Now I don't know about you, but I played the mother-loving hell out of Medieval back in the day. Sure, it was the PSP version, but no one's perfect. So when the opportunity came to platinum this bona fide classic, you can bet your ass I went for it. And you should too. Stepping into the bones of Sir Daniel Fortescue, you must take back the kingdom of Galamir from the evil sorcerer Zarok and his undead minions. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, Sir Dan isn't exactly what you would call competent. Honestly, this game is so quintessentially PS1 that I guarantee you'll get a kick out of it, even if the gameplay is a bit clunky. The guide puts this as a 3 out of 10, which is probably fair, but it's at least an 8 or 9 for fun, and some of the trophies are downright hilarious. Like the Colonel Fortescue Special Recipe Trophy for turning an enemy into a roast chicken and then eating them, the Old School Sneaky Trophy for attempting to use a cheat code from the original game, or my personal favourite, the Not So Armless Trophy for beating the game's first boss using only Sedan's own arm as a weapon. Brilliant. But there you have it, 5 PS Plus Platinums that anyone can achieve. Let me know in the comments down below any that I've missed that you would have put on the list, because I'm always looking for recommendations. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Not only is there a creepy mask-wearing weirdo... Not only is there a creepy mask-wearing weirdo... Oh, fucking... Not only is there a creepy mask-wearing weirdo... Fuck it, I can't do it without laughing. Not only is there a creepy mask-wearing weirdo that wants... Fucking Christ. I didn't think that through.